Hey there folks, let's find out which are the 5 best fighter heroes in Mobile Legends right now. Kicking things off at number 5, we've got the fierce and fabulous Freya, or Viking powerhouse. This gal can dish out some serious damage, especially in the early game. I mean, seriously, at level 1, Freya's the queen of the hill, all thanks to her killer second skill. It lets her activate her passive effect like it's nobody's business. And here's the sweet part. She can unleash this skill every time she got enough sacred orbs, which she collects with basic attacks. So every skill she uses ramps up her attack speed for the next 2 hits, and that can stack up to 6 times. So after 3 skill costs, she's maxed out at 6 quick attacks. That's some insane DPS right there. Now her first skill, it's perfect for getting up close with your enemies. And then her ultimate. This ability not only gives her a protective shield, but it also cranks up her damage and lets her unleash basic attacks from a distance, causing splash damage. Freya becomes an absolute beast during team fights, or when she's in a nail-biting 1 vs 1 showdown. But here's the strategy scoop. Freya's the MVP against heroes with poor mobility and ideally no CC skills. That way, she can chase down her foes without any annoying interruptions. So when you're up against heroes like Terizla, Cyclops, Layla or Angela, Freya's your go-to gal for that sweet advantage. Now, if you're someone who prefers a hero that's a bit tougher to take down, you might want to check out the next hero in line. Our 4th best fighter of this moment is Terizla, which has great defense thanks to its passive. You see, Terizla's passive is where the magic happens. The lower his HP drops, the tougher he becomes. For every 2.5% of HP he loses, he gains a sweet 1% damage reduction, maxing out at an impressive 30%. That's some serious tankiness right there, especially when you load him up with defensive gear. But that's not all. Terizla got a nifty second skill that can be cast not once, not twice, but 3 times, dealing some crazy area of effect damage. Combine it with a Bloodlust Axe and you've got yourself a healing machine. Whenever you use this skill on minions or heroes, it's like a mini fountain of health, making him even more sustainable. Now here's the downside on Terizla's skills. They're a bit slow to cast, especially that first one. It can be frustrating when those speedy heroes start dancing around, dodging your move. So here's a pro tip. Throw in 1 or 2 offensive items to spice things up. It will give them that extra power to really dish out the damage. Hitting all his skills on the target can pack a serious punch. Now, when it comes to picking Terizla, target those heroes with loosey mobility. Trust me, the ones who zip around like they've had too much caffeine or have fancy blink skills are a real pain to catch. So if you're up against heroes like Bane, Mia, Xavier, Estes or Beatrix, Terizla's your man. He's an all-around hero who can soak up hits like a champ before even breaking a sweat. But hang on tight, because our next hero is a whole different ballgame, and we're diving into the world of offense. So stay tuned. The 3rd best fighter of this moment is mightiest. This guy doesn't mess around when it comes to damage. Let's talk about mightiest's incredible passive ability that cranks up his attack speed to insane levels. After every skill he dishes out, mightiest gains a whopping 30% bonus attack speed, and this stacks up to a maximum of 120%. And the secret sauce to maintaining those 4 stacks lies in his second skill, which is a 2-phase powerhouse. The first phase packs a triple punch, adding 3 stacks in one go. Then you can cast this skill again to secure that 4th stack. The real magic happens when you time your skills just right, keeping that bonus up for an extended period, turning mightiest into the deadly fighter he's famous for. But wait, there's more. It's not just about DPS with mightiest. He brings some serious crowd control to the table too. His first skill deals physical damage and lines up all enemies in front of him, slowing them down by a hefty 40% for a solid 2 seconds. That sets them up perfectly for the second skill, which not only knocks back the target in the first phase, but sends them airborne in the second phase. That's a total of 3 awesome crowd control effects right from his skill set. And let's not forget his ultimate, dealing some heavy burst damage. And when the target drops below 50% HP, it transforms into true damage. And if you score a kill with this move, it resets the cooldown and grants Martis a 100% movement speed boost for a sweet 5 seconds. Plus, the damage of this ability increases by a solid 15% for every kill, maxing out at 30%. Martis can fit into the XP lane, but he truly shines in the jungle, thanks to that high DPS. If you time those skills just right, you'll be rocking that 120% attack speed bonus all the time, making jungle monsters clearing a breeze. So, when should you pick Martis? Well, go for heroes with low HP. That makes it way easier to secure those kills. Some prime examples include Gord, Claude, Guinevere and Nana. While Martis might not be as mighty as he once was, he's still a force to be reckoned with. But hold tight, because our next hero has been a top tier favorite for quite some time and is a frequent guest on the ban list. The second best fight hero right now is Arlott. This hero has been rocking the scene since day one, and even though he's seen his fair share of nerfs, well-deserved ones, he's still a powerhouse you don't want to underestimate. Arlott is the master of skill combinations, which enables him to deal thousands of damage. It's all in the way his skills work together. Firstly, we have his passive, which adds a mark to an enemy who's nearby. This mark can also be added when applying CC effect to an enemy. Now let's talk about his first skill. It dishes out some damage and gives the enemy a taste of crowd control. Then there's his second skill, where Arlott jumps right into the action, dealing damage and recovering HP. This is where those marks come into play. Hitting a marked target with his skill doubles the damage, boosts your HP recovery and resets the cooldown, letting you use it again right away. But that's not all, folks. Arlott's ultimate skill is a real game changer. It sweeps all enemies to the right, causing damage and revealing their position. Oh, and it also adds a mark to the enemy. So if you want to play Arlott successfully, you need to master the following combo to deal the highest damage possible. First, let your passive add the initial mark. You'll see a nifty icon to keep track. When the timer's about to reset, hit skill 2, then follow it up with skill 2 again after your passive adds another mark. Use skill 1 followed by skill 2, finish it off with your ultimate, and right after that another skill 2. If the enemy is still standing, which they might not be, go ahead and petrify them before using skill 2 once more. This is the perfect combo, which might be harder to perform than it sounds, but this makes you deal insane damage. It's the reason why Arlott gets banned so often. To unleash this combo to its fullest, go up against heroes with no CC skills and, if possible, limited mobility. That way, they can't mess up your groove and you'll have a smoother time executing your deadly moves. Look out for heroes like Yi Sun-shin, Estus, Cyclops and Hilda. So practice that combo, cross your fingers Arlott is banned, and you get ready to serve up some juicy kills. By the way, you can still benefit from the Aptoid deal, which gives you discounted diamonds. Use my promo code MLProgression. I've left the link in the description. Now, I bet you're itching to know who snags the #1 spot for the best fight hero, right? Stick around, we're about to spill the beans. This, of course, is Alpha, the hero whose true damage will shake the battlefield. Alpha is your go-to jungler, packing a serious punch thanks to his true damage and speedy cooldowns. Plus, if you build some spell vamp on this bad boy, he becomes an absolute healing machine. The trick to play Alpha as effectively as possible, early game farming is key. The more gold you rack up, the stronger you become, and that's your ticket to dominating those 1v1 duels. Heck, with the right timing and skill, you can even come out on top in 1v2 situations, especially if your pockets are lined with gold. So for the first 5 or 6 minutes, your laser focus should be on those jungle monsters. If you stumble upon an enemy, sure, give him a run for the money, but only if the odds are in your favor. Otherwise, just play it cool and stick to your farming routes. Trust me, nailing this strategy significantly boosts your chances of clinching that victory. So for Alpha, it's important to have some defensive items as well. They crank up your sustainability, keep those pesky high burst damage heroes at bay, especially in the late game. That's why I recommend tossing in a couple of defensive items to bolster your physical and magic defense. Now, let's not forget the offensive items. They're just as crucial. Alpha's strength lies in his skill damage, so make sure you've got those offensive items rocking. Whether it's a 1v1 showdown, a massive teamfight, or taking on heroes with rock solid defense, Alpha's your guy. Looking for some matchup advice? Well, Alpha is your ace in almost any situation. He excels at 1v1 battles, thrives in teamfights, and even take down heroes with armor for breakfast. I'd say give him a spin when you're up against heroes like Grog, Florin, Johnson or Layla. Chances are you'll be raising that victory flag high. And there you have it, folks, our definitive list of the top 5 fighter heroes. But hey, this isn't just about me talking. I'm absolutely itching to hear your thoughts on this lineup. Do you agree with the choices, or perhaps you've got a hidden gem up your sleeve that we missed? Don't be shy, drop a comment below and let's spark up a lively discussion. Your opinion means the world to me, and I genuinely can't wait to dive into your insights. Let's chat, and who knows, your input might just shape our next hero ranking video. Also, suggestions for future videos are greatly appreciated. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you again in the next guide.